The U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have called on the international community to condemn Hamas. Mr. Blinken arrived in Tel Aviv today to show U.S. support for Israel and to help stop the war with Hamas becoming a wider conflict.
The message that I bring to Israel is this: you may be strong enough on your own to defend yourself, but as long as America exists, you will never ever have to. We will always be there by your side.
Hamas should be treated exactly the way ISIS was treated. They should be spit out from the community of nations. No leader should meet them. No country should harbor them. And those that do should be sanctioned.
Secretary Blinken told Prime Minister Netanyahu that the U.S. will continue to supply Israel with the military aid as its defenses needs evolve. He also warned any state or group against taking advantage of this conflict to attack Israel. Mr. Blinken will travel to Jordan tomorrow to hold talks with Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas. The International Committee of the Red Cross warns the humanitarian situation in Gaza could soon become unmanageable. Civilian infrastructure in the enclave is collapsing, with Israel cutting off supplies of food, water and fuel. The ICRC says fuel in Gaza could run out in hours. Hospitals are at risk of shutting down as power runs out. The health ministry in Gaza says the healthcare system has begun to fall apart, with no more intensive care beds available. Thousands of the wounded have far exceeded the capacity of operation rooms. The Red Cross stresses supplies must enter the enclave since the remaining humanitarian aid will not support civilians for much longer. The aid agency is looking at the Rafah crossing on Egypt's border with Gaza as the main option for a humanitarian corridor. Cairo says the passage is still open, dismissing reports that it was closed. But Israel says that until Hamas releases its hostages, it will not allow humanitarian aid into Gaza. The Israeli military has confirmed the identities of close to 100 people taken by Hamas when militants attacked southern Israel on Saturday. Tel Aviv is carrying out its largest ever bombing run on Gaza, focused on destroying Hamas's senior leadership. It's also responded to concerns raised by the United Nations and international aid groups that the airstrikes are killing civilians in Gaza. Israel says its forces are taking precautions.
We are very cautious in the way we operate. The IDF uses all the means at its disposal in order to reduce harm to the population. But Israel will defend its people and do whatever it takes with an iron fist to change the reality.
For more, Sarah Coates joins us live from Tel Aviv. Sarah, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Israel, and one of his what he intends to do, one of his missions there would be to stop this conflict from becoming a wider one. What's Washington's plan to prevent this conflict from escalating?
Yes, certainly. Look, just before I get to that, I've just seen over the last couple of minutes some red alerts coming up the coast from the Gaza enclave. So just letting you know, in case we do get any sirens here, I'll be able to speak for about a minute and then I'll have to go to shelter. But on Blinken's visit, look, there are certainly huge concerns over a widening conflict here. Blinken has a number of high-level meetings. Of course, he is here in Tel Aviv today, meeting with this newly formed war cabinet and also Israel's top military brass. This is, of course, ahead of an anticipated full-scale invasion of the Gaza Strip. Now, tomorrow, Blinken, the top diplomat, he will travel to Jordan, meeting with the king there in Amman and also the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas. Now, speaking of this fear of a widening conflict, Syrian state media has just come out to report that Israel has allegedly launched air attacks on Damascus and Aleppo airports. Now, apparently, the Iran's foreign minister was about to land there in Syria. So, of course, this still needs to be verified, but that is quite concerning given this fear of this northern front. We've seen over the last few days mortars come from Syria. We've also seen fighting on the border with Lebanon, and also Israel is currently preparing hospitals in the north, saying it is ready in case this northern front explodes.
Of course, we will bring you up to date should there be any developments in terms of other militant groups joining this conflict between Israel and Hamas. But let's talk about the humanitarian corridor into Gaza as well. Israel has already shot down talk of that, saying until hostages are released, there's no talk of opening supplies into the enclave again. So what are the chances of that corridor actually happening at this point?
Well, look, Israel has said absolutely zero chance until all of these hostages are returned. We do know that there are almost 100 families now that have been informed that they have a loved one being held in an unknown location in the Gaza Strip by Hamas. These could potentially be in this labyrinth of terror tunnels that Hamas has running all underneath Gaza. We do know that the Red Cross has been in touch with Hamas today even. That's the second time the Red Cross has tried to find the whereabouts of these people, the condition of these people. But Hamas has said it will not have any prisoner swap, any prisoner exchange until this war is over. So, it looks like both sides really are at loggerheads here. It is extremely concerning also, as you mentioned, for this humanitarian corridor. Gaza hospitals say they are about to run out of fuel. They say these hospitals will soon turn into morgues. And there are grave fears for the some 2 million people that live in Gaza, which, as we know, is one of the most densely packed areas in the world. So, look, it is certainly a horrendous situation for these innocent people that live in the Gaza Strip who have been hung out to dry by Hamas.
Well, thanks for that, Sarah Court, speaking to us there from Tel Aviv.